Something I've been wondering about Sonic Unleashed as of recently is how exactly did Sonic turn into the Werehog? I know the game establishes the fact that Sonic was injected with Dark Gaia Energy, but my main question here is how exactly did this happen? The intro animation doesn't really make it clear, in my opinion, how the energy got inside of him. All we know is that shortly after Sonic got zapped with Eggman's machine, and Eggman unleashes Dark Gaia using the cannon, then Sonic just suddenly starts to transform. Now, a common theory I've heard from places like YouTube and Reddit is that the Werehog form is a manifestation of all the negative energy from the Chaos Emeralds. Which does make sense considering that in universe, Dark Gaia is described as being powered by everyone's negative thoughts and emotions, and sort of general aura, and so it does make sense why Dark Gaia would react to the negative energy of the Chaos Emeralds, and it makes even more sense when you consider that in Sonic Advance 3, Eggman did this exact same plot essentially, but there was no mention of any Dark Gaia or any of the Gaia temples for that matter. So maybe Dark Gaia required specifically the dark energy of the Chaos Emeralds. But this theory does kind of fall flat when you realize that at the end of the game, when Dark Gaia removes all the energy from Sonic, he reverts back to his normal form immediately, and it's heavily implied that he's unable to turn back into the Werehog. So the transformation can't be a manifestation of all the negative energy, at least not entirely. So that throws a wrench into that theory, but another question I have about this is why did this only affect Sonic specifically? You can kind of hand wave this why it doesn't affect Eggman because he's a human, and the Dark Gaia energy affects humans, but all the influence Dark Gaia's energy has on humans is to make them act a bit weird and all crazy and everything. And maybe that's because Sonic is like one of the Anthro characters, or like a Mobian or something, but that still begs another question. If that was the case, then why did it not affect Tails or Amy? In fact, Tails or Amy don't seem to be affected by Dark Gaia's energy at all throughout the whole game. And you can probably justify that by saying that Sonic maybe has a stronger connection to the Emeralds, considering that he's always the one who's using them at the end of the games, and he's always going super all the time. Not to mention he can do things like Chaos Control, as confirmed in Sonic Adventure 2, so maybe because he has a stronger connection to the Emeralds, that's what caused his reaction to the Dark Gaia energy. I know Amy, Tails, and Knuckles can all go super as well, but Sonic does it more often, that's my point. Overall, I don't really know. All I know is that as a kid, I thought this was part of Eggman's plan. The animation and the intro makes it feel like that this was part of Eggman's plan, and that his machine is what did this to him. And the fact that Eggman just doesn't really react to Sonic's transformation. All he does is call it festive and then just sends him away. So this question just sort of popped up in my head, and I just wanted to talk about it for like a minute or so, and I would like to see y'all's ideas in the comments.
You